Virgo, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will be from the 7th to the 14th, and I can't find my additional guidance cards, so I've sort of asked the deck what your additional message is, okay? And you've got the 8 of Cups, okay? So the 8 of Cups is a really strange card. It's one of these cards that it's got so many meanings, okay? But in its core, it's a search for a deeper meaning in your life, okay? It's an inner search because it's got the moon. And he's going into the dark night, okay? He's holding a cup, the cup that's missing from this 8. And some of you might be leaving something behind because you're drawn towards going somewhere else. Some of you might be in this inner search of letting go of the past and continually building on your emotional world. So eventually you have this complete 10 of Cups, okay? Very interesting here. At the bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. And this is what's coming up, okay? This tends to be a turn of events, and I've just realised you've got the 10 of Cups with the Lover's card. And so some Virgos might be walking away, and some of you are walking towards. And it looks like you're going to hit the jackpot here, Virgo. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is saying. Crowning card is the Page of Swords, communication, and it came up upright. It's a new deck, so everything's came up upright, and I don't tend to do reversals unless they come out deliberately. Knight of Swords, there might be a message about communication that needs to be done. He tends to be emailing, that sort of communication. I've got one word of warning, Virgo. Sometimes the Page of Swords can be a little bit of a paranoid thinker. Don't like that terminology, but a little bit of unsure, a little bit fearful, okay? Because as you can see, there's these blackbirds that are flying way overhead, and they're sort of behind him, so they're nagging him a little bit. Just be mindful of it. So you start the week, the High Priestess, with the Queen of Swords, the Star card, and the 5 of Discs. So for some of you, there's definitely an Aquarius around, okay? The 2 Aquarius cards. If that's not the case, Aquarius is it's the healing sign. Basically, it's the brotherhood of man. It's sharing your emotional self. It's about vulnerability. It's about being naked and being honest, not blocking the flow of energy. Okay, Virgo, you're my third reading, and everyone is blocking the flow of energy this week. You've got one card that might say that you're doing it a little bit, the 5 of Discs, but you've only got one, okay? So you're better off than everyone else so far. But you start the reading with the beautiful, beautiful Oracle deck. Oracle, the High Priestess. This is how the Divine speaks to us. She speaks to us through our feelings, through our dreams, but it's about being connected with your depth, Virgo, because in us is everything. Everything in the world exists within us, and the High Priestess reminds us to go within. If we don't go within, we go without, because the best relationship, everything happens from within us. Because if we're not resonating at the level of the High Priestess, then our relationships are shallow, our work is shallow. When we connect to this girl, we've got the whole world at our feet, Virgo, okay? Really, really beautiful energy. And if it doesn't get better, the Star card is right next to her. This beautiful vulnerability of the Star card, because look how she's sharing her knowledge with the world. She's pouring it out. The waters, she is risking vulnerability. She's risking being naked. there's maybe some feelings being exposed here, Virgo, to tell you the truth. It might make you feel a little bit anxious, but there's nothing wrong with your anxiousness, because love takes exposure, okay? Without exposure, there's no love. But exposure is really, really scary. And it takes us going way out of comfort zone, which is what the Five of Discs is about. There might be a sense of being a bit separated from someone that you love, okay? Because the Queen of Swords is sort of with it. It's almost like there's this great, beautiful, divine energy with a little bit of sense of being out in the cold, a little bit separate. Now, some people find the Queen of Swords terrifying, and she can be, because she holds this sword and she's beckoning forward. She's inviting you to come, and God knows what she's going to do with that sword, okay? But how I read the cards, Virgo, I don't get Queen of Swords like that. My Queen of Swords is someone who's got a crown, okay? And she's got a crown because she's cutting through the debris so she can get to the core, so she can get to that heart and get to that beauty, okay? You know, when I do my readings, I always try and give the darker side and the brighter side. I mean, the Queen of Swords can feel a bit emotionally disconnected. The reason we feel emotional disconnection is to push us towards connection, okay? Because that's its purpose. And boy, are you going towards connection, because you get the Ten of Cups with the Lover's card. What to say, Virgo? I mean, this is love made manifest. It's the Ten of Cups. It's a happy conclusion to some story, Virgo, that's been going on for you. I think it's obviously about a relationship. I think it's clear that you're loved and you love back. So the reason why we go into the fives and the fear cards is because we fear the depth of our emotions. We feel this connection because connection leaves us vulnerable. So in order to not feel vulnerable, quite often we hide out in these energies, okay? Temporary, Virgo, that's okay. But something is pushing you forward, and if I was you, I'd go. I tell you. You then get the Three of Discs. I might clarify that with the Justice card. Now, I love this Justice card. In my other decks, I don't like the Justice card, but in this one, it's my favourite. It's the Libra card. It represents manifestation. So you've done a lot of work. You've waited. You've been patient, and this will be the final manifestation. It's with the Three of Discs. The Three of Discs is about working with others, trying to bring things into a unity. It can be about teamwork. I feel I need another clarifier for that Justice and the Three of, okay, the Ten of Discs and the Four of Swords. So the Ten of Discs, again, another 10. It's a happy, you get 3 tens. Happy conclusion. Again, very practical. This is about work, family life, sharing. With the Four of Swords, so it's a sort of sense of needing to rest, to take a respite, to get some peace. So these are both work cards, building something for the future, that sort of thing. And the Justice card with the Four of Swords is saying you might need to take a rest. There's a lot happening this week, which might make you need to withdraw a little bit. This is another healing card, like the Star card. And I think this paints a better picture than my other deck because her hands are in prayer. Yeah? And her hands are in prayer because she's saying thanks, but she's going into retreat and going into withdrawal. Okay? In order to recharge her batteries. And no wonder, Virgo, you need to recharge your batteries because you've got a huge, huge week. I don't want you to be scared of the Five of Discs. The Five of Discs can represent being disconnected. Okay, you can see it clearly. They're out in the cold and the light's here, but they're not looking up at it. You're choosing to stay here. And you're choosing to stay here because of some sort of fear. But the star card's on top of it, which is healing the sense. So you can move to the 10, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know what you've got going on this week, Virgo, but I like it. Okay? Some of yous, it might be a bit walking away from something because these cups are no longer fulfilling you. But that can be anything, remember? And it's not all... this is not a lost card. It's a pool so deep within you, right within your waters, which are your, you know, that fluid in your body that's pulling you forward. And I think it's taking you to love, Virgo. What to say? Blessed be, Virgo. Loads of love. Bye.